Yo, what is good, everybody? What is good, yo? Goblin the Slayer, my anime people. I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that even a even Goblin Slayer, aka Bread the Slicer, aka Ogre Borga. Everybody needs a break every once in a while, and this was a good instance of seeing just why, you know, Goblin Slayer and the Priestess definitely needed some type of break. And it's cool that this feels the most human thing that they've really presented throughout this series, in the sense of they can't they don't just recover, on the whim. They don't just like wake up and they're completely okay, in the sense of they go right back in and fight and stuff like that. I think that's where the show can actually start to add more and more to their repertoire. Um, because with them going in and literally making us watch the whole entire process of them getting the weapons that they want to use for later battles, getting all these different things set up for a bigger climax, it I think honestly, these are the things that people, some people hate and some people, love. So it's like they're risking something, in the sense of, hey, we know certain people, like, or certain fans feel some type of way when they gotta watch a show that, when the last time we left off, we were in a huge battle. I mean, to be fair, we did like chase off the people that were trying to take our main people out, but at the same time, nonetheless, it was a big battle. It did have, a lot on the line and stuff like that, and then to just to pick up on him waking up in bed and pretty much just having a carefree day, like as if it's one of the um, day off types of uh, episodes. It changes right back into, bringing us the action, showing us, what we were expecting. Plus, I feel like they showed us more, in the sense of just how Olga de Borga is really falling in line with loving. Maybe love is a strong word, but he's fallen in line with caring for these people. He's even come to the senses of, like, if when they go into this dungeon by themselves to like scout out and stuff, they knew that they're gonna be okay. Like, he's like, oh yeah, look. He's like, what about them? He's like, are they gonna be fine scouting out a place that we pretty much got bodied in? And he's like, yep. Like, no hesitate. And I understand, like, the hesitation, the non-hesitation could come from just like how he actually is and whatnot. But in the sense of him even just giving the notion of they'll be okay should be a sign to people that this is a man that is literally changing slowly, but he is changing, because nonetheless, he didn't even really care for these people to even be on the mission with him back in the day, and now here he is, giving them a compliment of thinking they're going to live, when we have confirmation that, and I'm not sure how it happened, why it happened, or if it even happened, um, and we're just being kind of lied to or something, or more happened and we're being than it's being led on. But supposedly, the maiden who has beaten the demon lord was pretty much subdued by goblins, and ever since then she's been, like, just non-combatant towards, towards goblins, and she couldn't really, I guess, do anything against them, which kind of says one or two things about this show. Is either A, they're going down the path of making goblins like much more dangerous than than they give credit to, in the sense of, like, people like Silver Ranks hunt not supposedly supposed to hunt them and stuff like that. They might actually be worth that type of ranking, and because there's such a common occurrence That's why silver rankers don't really mess with them, because to continuously mess with goblins means that, there's not too much other stuff going on. And, uh, with someone like a demon lord out there, there's got to be things close to the demon lord. And that's what I meant by we got a little bit extra this week with the floating eyeball that's flying around this week. We pretty much can sum up that if we have this eyeball here, and it wasn't even something like that was the necessary need, our reason why we retreated and stuff like that in the first place, it just goes to show you how much powerful different types of monsters can be introduced through this series, and not only just like introduced, but be complete threats to the later on storytelling. So I was actually kind of nervous when I saw that eyeball, because I didn't know what direction they were going to go with it. Because there's a video game that I love to play. It's called Final Fantasy, and those monsters are in there, and they definitely aren't that ferocious and scary like the one we saw in this week's episode, where it could pretty much melt anything it got its beam onto. And then, not to mention, it was also like pretty much not afraid to go against anybody who really was putting up any type of fight towards it. But with Goblin Slayer learning about Flower from the same miner that told him about the canary and stuff like that, it really brought out the whole notion that Goblin Slayer is one of the best listeners out there when it comes down to any type of information that may become life-saving. And excuse me for clearing my throat so many times. I should have drank water before this. Um, but it just goes to show you that regardless of what is being said, he treats it all like gold. He treats all information like it's something you can never learn anywhere else. So that being one of his ways of communicating, that being one of the ways he just is, really helps me as like a fan of just like the show, in the sense of the graphics are beautiful, the storytelling's getting crazier and crazier, or it's upping the ante every time. Um, with all these things piling up, it's just nice to see where he'll continuously pick up information from, even if it is information about how to make ice cream or something like that, that literally could come in handy just as much as how learning about the flower trick that he learned this week. So, and I think that that's their way of showing you that this show is not like, there's not filler really when it comes down to the Goblin Slayer taking a break or going out to this town, because literally it's realistic in the sense of if uh if I go out on a mission and I get all of my gear straight up bashed on and I'm bleeding through and stuff, clearly my arm has been penetrated so I could actually take damage. So what does that mean? I should have to get it repaired. Most of these animes do repairs through just cutscenes and stuff like that. And so to actually get that, it just goes to show you that this show knows its audience quite well, that this is something that they wouldn't have mind seeing, and that uh, people will appreciate, the notion of them taking this time out to literally do all this, not to mention the whole sleeping in the bed with the priestess and the resurrection that that gave. Somehow the sword, the maiden who pretty much defeated the demon lord, knew about her wanting to probably do that, and be in there and take care of him. But she made it sound like she she and the girl who Goblin Slayer's with, she made it sound like they were one person at one time. She's like, how did it feel sleeping with her and pretty much me, like, as if, I mean, maybe her spell is the one that, brought him back or something. Like, she taught that spell to her, but to say that you both kind of experienced the sleeping together thing was kind of weird to me. So I'm not sure if maybe the reason why she's a little bit weaker is because she separated herself and she's two people, and that would make sense why she hired Goblin Slayer in the first place. Maybe not. I mean, of course, because she knew he's a Goblin Slayer, but um, I mean, what if she does have some connection to the priestess, or she is the priestess? She would probably want to spend time with him, even if he doesn't know the full story of why she is two people or something like that. I don't know if that's the case. That's probably me reading too much into what I saw in the subtitles. But with all that being said, man, this episode was amazing. I'm pretty sure people are gonna find something to hate on it, like it didn't stay in the action, or Olga the Bolga should be able to recover faster, so something along these lines. But yeah, thank you guys so much for the support. Yeah, boy out here trying to grind. I'm going to be dropping 3 videos this today. So if you guys are not subscribed and you aren't watching and dropping likes, what are you doing? It would be mighty grateful if you do that for me, yeah. So hope you guys have a good day, night, morning, evening, whatever the case is for you, and I will talk to you all in the next one if you do choose to come back. Uh, be on the lookout for some sword art, and after that, we'll drop some radiance. So, with that, everybody, take care. Peace.